So there were two different towns known as Gath Rimmon? That's a bit confusing. But, I mean, that happens sometimes. I'm trying to remember... Like, there are multiple cities within the U.S. that have the same name. I'm trying to remember... I thought I heard at one point, like, what the most common name was, or at least a definite example of a name that was used in multiple states. But I'm blanking on that at the moment. What's up, cool people? My name's Matt. Welcome back to our Bible study. Alright, so we are currently looking at Joshua chapter 21. So previously, the Israelites had already conquered the promised land, or at least a good chunk of it, probably the majority of it, really. And then they divided up the portions of the land and allotted those to the different tribes. Last chapter, they established the cities of refuge that would be places people could go to, unsurprisingly, seek refuge. More specifically, in the case of, like, accidentally killing somebody. So, like, the family of the victim doesn't, like, seek out revenge without going through the proper process. Anywho. So, that's where we leave things off right now. So yeah. Here we go. Joshua chapter 21. Then the leaders of the tribe of Levi came to consult with Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the leaders of the other tribes of Israel. They came to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan and said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us towns to live in and pasture lands for our livestock." So by the command of the Lord, the people of Israel gave the Levites the following towns and pasture lands out of their own grants of land. Okay, so I assume this is then going to be breaking down which towns within each tribal territory are going to be given to the Levites. Because, again, the Levites would be the ones in charge of doing all the ceremonial stuff, all the sacrifices, offerings, properly burning those, disposing of things, going through cleansing rituals, and all that kind of stuff. And since the Levites didn't get a portion of land that, as their own separate area specifically just for all of them in one concentrated area, they're going to get, like, spread out in different towns throughout the other tribes. So anyway, verse 4, the descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, were allotted 13 towns that were originally assigned to the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The other families of the Kohathite clan were allotted 10 towns from the tribes of Ephraim, Dan, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The clan of Gershon was allotted 13 towns from the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. The clan of Merari was allotted 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. Okay. So that seems to be all the Levite clans. And does that actually cover all of the other tribes? You would think they have to have some towns within each of the other tribal allotments so they're spread out enough that other people aren't having to travel real far to go through their quite frequent offerings. So we've got Judah, Simeon, Benjamin, Ephraim, Dan, half-tribe of Manasseh. That puts us at 6. Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, half-tribe Manasseh. I guess that... Does that make 10 of the Anyway, Reuben, Gad, yeah, I'm thinking they're all covered. Yeah, discount the half tribe of Manasseh in that allotment for the Gershon clan, and then you add Reuben, Gad, Zebulun. That makes 12. There were 12 allotments. Okay. The math is mathing here. It all adds up. I don't know why I feel the need to double check that, though. Like, it's the Bible. Like, this is supposed to be God's word. It's not like I should feel like I have to double check the accuracy of God's word. But this is just logic brain wanting to be like, okay, wait. Is this actually, what are the details here? Is this actually, fitting the description? And yes. Anywho, there's quite a few verses to go. Let me stop describing things so much. Verse 8. So the Israelites obeyed the Lord's command to Moses and assigned these towns and pasture lands to the Levites by casting sacred lots. These towns being the ones mentioned, or actually no, they didn't mention specific towns yet. Maybe it's going to get into the names of the towns now. Verse 9. The Israelites gave the following towns from the tribes of Judah and Simeon to the descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, since the sacred lot fell to them first. So the names of the towns given were Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, along with its surrounding pasture lands. Arba was an ancestor of Anak. That's not super relevant to this particular moment. But the open fields beyond the town and the surrounding villages were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, as his possession, because he had scouted out that land previously and was promised by Moses that he would have that, and it fell within the allotment of Judah, I believe. Maybe Judah and Simeon. So that just mentions one town in the hill country of Judah. Are we getting to the one from Simeon next? I don't know. Anyway. Verse 13. The following towns with their pasture lands were given to the descendants of Aaron the priest. Hebron, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone. Libnah, Jatir? I don't know. Eshtemoa, Holon, Debir, Ain, Jutta, and Beth Shemesh. 9 towns from these 2 tribes. Okay. But it specifically mentioned Hebron first. I'm not totally sure why it felt the need to do that. The open fields beyond the town and the surrounding villages. Maybe because there was the crossover with Caleb's territory. I don't know. Or maybe overlap is the better word there. Anyway. Okay, so in total, the Levites, specifically those descended from Aaron, or specifically those in the Kohathite clan, I guess, got 9 towns from the tribes of Judah and Simeon. Okay. I'm following. Maybe that's why I double-check some of this stuff so much in my head, because it's like, all right, I want to make sure that I'm following what's going on here as fully as I reasonably can. Anywho, verse 17. From the tribe of Benjamin, the priests were given the following towns with their pasture lands. Gibeon, Geba, Anathoth, and Almon, 4 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were given to the priests, the descendants of Aaron. Oh, so those were specifically the priests, not like the... I guess we have yet to get into the broader set of the Levites. Because there were specifically the priests who were like in charge of all that kind of stuff. And then the Levites who were more like assistants, I guess you could say. Anyway, maybe I should say the rest of the Levites. So all 13 of those towns just went to the priests. Verse 20. The rest of the Kohathite clan from the tribe of Levi was allotted the following towns and pasture lands from the tribe of Ephraim. Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone. Gezer, Kibzaim, and Beth-horon, 4 towns. But that was the rest of just the Kohathite clan. And we might not even be done with that yet. That was just what they got from the tribe of Ephraim. Verse 23. Following towns and pasture lands were allotted to the priests from the tribe of Dan. Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Aijalon, and Gath-Rimmon, 4 towns. Now, it said the priests there, so I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my information mixed up just because it's been a little while since I went over the details of, all right, who actually has what exact responsibilities here. Verse 25. The half-tribe of Manasseh allotted the following towns with their pasture lands to the priests. Tanakh and Gath-Rimmon, 2 towns. So in all, 10 towns with their pasture lands were given to the rest of the Kohathite clan. 4 there, and 2 here. So there were 2 different towns known as Gath-Rimmon. That's a bit confusing. But, I mean, you know, that happens sometimes. I'm trying to remember, like, there are multiple cities within the U.S. that have the same name. I'm trying to remember, I thought I heard at one point, like, what the most common name was, or at least a definite example of a name that was used in multiple states. But I'm blanking on that at the moment. So there were 13 towns for the priests who were descended from Aaron, and then for the rest of the Kohathite clan, there were 10 more towns. So technically that would make 23 in total for the entire Kohathite clan. Anywho, moving along, verse 27. The descendants of Gershon, another clan within the tribe of Levi, received the following towns with their pasture lands from the half-tribe of Manasseh. Golan in Bashan, a city of refuge, and Be'eshterah, 2 towns. From the tribe of Issachar, they received the following towns with their pasture lands. Kishion, Dabirath, Jarmuth, and En-Ganim, 4 towns. From the tribe of Asher, they received the following towns with their pasture lands. Mishal, Abdon, Helkath, and Rehob, 4 towns. From the tribe of Naphtali, they received the following towns with their pasture lands. Kadesh in Galilee, city of refuge, Hamath Dor, and Kartan, 3 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were allotted to the clan of Gershon. And that puts the total up to, I think, 36 for all the Levites thus far. Because there were 13 for the priests, 10 more for the other Kohathites. That put it at 23. And then we got 13 more here for the Gershonites, which would put it at, 36. Verse 34. The rest of the Levites, the Merari clan, were given the following towns with their pasture lands from the tribe of Zebulun. Jokneam, Karta, Dimnah, and Nahalal, 4 towns. From the tribe of Reuben, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Bezer, Jahaz, Kedemoth, and Mephaath. 4 towns. I keep pausing because I'm like, pronunciation? But I'm just going to go with the flow on this. From the tribe of Gad, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Ramoth and Gilead, city of refuge, Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jazer, 4 towns. So in all, 12 towns were allotted to the clan of Merari. And I'm noticing at least one city of refuge was given to each clan of the Levites. Because the Merarites got Ramoth and Gilead here. I'm trying to look through here real quick. Gershonites got Kedesh. And, I guess, Golan and Bashan. And then, I guess the Kohathites got Hebron and Ephraim. Or, sorry, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim. I'm trying to see if there are any others. Because by my count, that might leave one city of refuge that wasn't given to the Levites. But I thought they were kind of supposed to be in charge of the cities of refuge anyway. Or maybe I'm just looking at that incorrectly. Considering there were 2 towns named Gath Rimmon, maybe there were also 2 that were called Hebron? But I don't know. Anyway. Also, footnote down here at Jahaz. Hebrew might be Jazza, but it says that's just a variant spelling. Again, complications with lack of vowels in classical Hebrew. Or maybe I should say traditional Hebrew, old school Hebrew, whatever. Okay. Verse 41. The total number of towns and pasture lands within the Israelite territory given to the Levites came to 48. So they did the counting for me there. Every one of these towns had pasture lands surrounding it. So the Lord gave to Israel all the land he had sworn to give their ancestors, and they took possession of it and settled there. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had solemnly promised their ancestors. None of their enemies could stand against them, for the Lord helped them conquer all their enemies. Not a single one of all the good promises the Lord had given to the family of Israel was left unfulfilled. Everything he had spoken came true. Even though we read before that Dan had some trouble possibly holding on to their territory, but maybe it was just at least at this moment. Well, because we know, at least those of us who know much about the Bible, there's, it definitely wasn't peaceful for real long. But at least at this point, it was all peaceful. They had, quote, rest on every side. So that sounds almost like it's trying to wrap up the portion of them taking over / conquering the Promised Land. But maybe there's still some more details to figure out about allotments and stuff. I don't know. We'll just have to see as we progress through the remainder of the book of Joshua. I don't know if I really have too many other thoughts. It's just, I guess, divvying out cities to the Levites. Okay, so pretty simple conceptually chapter there. Just towns going to the Levites. And it seems like all the land, all the towns, everything that has to be distributed to anybody and decided as anyone's allotment or anything like that, that's all been figured out now. Including, tribal land areas, towns for Levites, cities of refuge, places for Joshua and Caleb, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah. I guess that's it for now. As always, like and share if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you're on YouTube to get updates when I post new videos. If you're seeing this over on Rumble, give me a follow there. Either way, look down in the description to get info on other social media pages and all that good stuff. And leave comments down below there with any thoughts you have. So that'll do it for now. Hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another video. But whatever the case is, till next time, stay cool, people.